Hey there. My name is Daniel. I'm part of the education staff here at the Challenger Learning Center. I am here today to share with you some of our recipes that we use for slime all the time for the kids, and they love it, and I hope you will too. So this is using some common items that you might have at the house that you can make all the time. You can make slime as much as you want. It's so much fun. But I will keep this in mind. I will let you know that some of the ratios and all the chemistry that's involved is very particular, so just be very patient with it. If one thing might get off, it might throw the whole batch, so just keep that in mind. So follow this as closely as you can, because we've spent time perfecting it over the past few months and the years, to get it just right. So version number one, we're going to be making galaxy slime. Looks like space. It's all pretty. Using these ingredients. So right here we have clear glue. You can also use white glue, but the clear glue makes it more transparent. It also helps it, that we found, be more of a stretchy consistency, so we tend to like the clear glue over the white glue, but again, you can use the white glue if you have it. It also includes borax. Not sure how many of you have this at home, but this is part of the activation process. This is our activator. Borax is very key in this version of the slime. And we also have some water down here. And to make it look like a galaxy, we have some silver glitter and some food coloring that we will use in just a moment. Okay, you guys ready? Here we go. Step one, we need to add into our bowl here, we need to add 1/2 cup of clear glue here. Okay. I also have some popsicle sticks or some craft sticks that you can use to help empty out your measuring cups, because like I said, you really want this to be as close to this recipe as possible, so you want to get all this goodness out of these measuring cups like so. Really empty that out. In addition to our clear glue, we're going to add 1/2 cup of just regular temperature water. I think this is our regular temperature water or cold water, whatever you have. 1/2 cup. Okay, so we have, just to recap, we have 1/2 cup of glue and now 1/2 cup of water in like that. Make sure that once you have your glue and your water, that you really mix it really nicely. We have the kids, we always tell them really mix, and we want this to be well incorporated, because if you don't, it could throw off the recipe at the very end and kind of make it gloopy and not, as smooth of a consistency that you would want with your slime. Okay, that looks pretty well incorporated. What do you guys think? Yeah? Okay. Now, before we move on to the borax, I'm gonna add our galaxy touch to it. So follow me down here. We're gonna add our glitter, and I'm gonna make it purple today for you. This is very popular with the kids. You can also add black food coloring as well. That might make it more of like a grayish look. So that's always an option. But again, it's all whatever you have at the house. And you don't have to use silver glitter. You can use gold. You can use red, green, whatever you might have at the house is fun. It's all up to you. This is all you. You decide how you want this to be. So I have red food coloring. I'm going to add about 3 drops to our bowl like that. And 3 drops of blue. Okay. Really mix this in nicely, well incorporated again. You can kind of see that purple really showing up nicely. You can kind of see it on the popsicle stick too. It's going to be really pretty once it comes out. So just hang tight with us till we get everything formed and mixed and thoroughly incorporated. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now we need to move on to our activation or activator. We have some side cups, just an extra container. You don't want to mix it directly into our bowl. We want to keep these separate. We have some borax. Okay, so follow me over here. Okay, so I'm going to add 1/4 of a teaspoon. I'm going to grab my 1/4 teaspoon. It's all down here of borax into this little cup right here. We found that adding no more than a 1/4 teaspoon is kind of like the magic level of making it the perfect stretchiness and consistency at the end. If you add more borax, it'll make it tighter and not quite as stretchy. I like stretchy slime, so and the kids do too. So I would highly recommend adding no more than a 1/4 teaspoon of borax for this version of slime. So 1/4 teaspoon of borax in there, just to recap. And I'm gonna add warm water. I'm gonna add a 1/2 cup of warm water to our borax in here, because the goal is to dissolve the borax completely. Okay, the key is completely. So I'm gonna have another craft stick here and really mix this well. You guys want to come on in here and take a look. I'm really mixing it. I think I got a bug in there. Oh well. It's all part of the fun of being outdoors, right? Okay, really mix that in. You don't want any of the borax left over. Don't want any of the particles left. Again, if you do, then it might be a little gloopy and not be that perfect stretchy consistency, smooth texture that you might want with your slime. Okay, I think that's about good. You guys ready to activate it? Yeah? Okay, we're gonna have a countdown. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Watch. Here we go. Gonna add it in, and we're gonna really mix, really mix. I always tell the kids, mix, mix, mix. And it'll all come together. Should pull away from the sides of the bowl. Everything should be well incorporated. Keep on mixing till it completely forms like a ball of sorts. Again, you want it to pull away from the sides of the bowl, and then you can start to play with it. The key to slime is you really want to play with it, get in there, don't be afraid of it. Really get in there, knead it. The more you play with it, the better it seems to become and really combine, and that's your main goal there. I'm going to show you this. Look at this. Look how stretchy this is. Look at this. So cool. So much fun. But yeah, that is your first recipe for very, very stretchy galaxy slime. So that is, again, using our clear glue and borax, water, and food coloring and glitter. Okay, I'm going to take this food coloring and the glitter down here to version number 2. So if you want to follow me down here, version number 2, again, we're going to be doing galaxy slime again. But if you don't have borax at home, no sweat. Version number 2 involves baking soda and saline solution. Saline solution, if you look on the back, you want the version that includes both boric acid and sodium borate. Now, borate and boric are all related to borax that we used in our first version of slime. They're all related, so they help to activate the slime and make it the way it is. Okay, so definitely have your saline solution have both boric acid and sodium borate. Very, very important that you have those two. We're going to start off with the same 2 steps to start off with. Let me grab my measuring cup here. We're going to start off with, I've got my water too. We have, again, our clear glue. Again, our clear glue helps it be more stretchy that we found. Okay. There's our clear glue. Let me leave this in here. I'm going to go grab my craft stick, so just bear with me just for a minute. Wait, I can get all this out of here. If you want to come in a little closer, you can take a peek in here. So again, first 2 steps that we had with our version 1, we're going to do with our version 2. It's like our base recipe, if you will. Okay, so there's our 1/2 cup of glue in there, like so. Now we have our regular temperature water. Going to do another 1/2 cup of that in here, just like what we did with version number 1. Mix that in there. Again, as we did with version number 1, you really want to mix it very, very well. Make sure it's well incorporated. You guys see that? Make sure it's very, very well incorporated. Very, very important. You don't want it to be gloopy or, not that smooth consistency that I've discussed with version number 1. Again, we're going to make it galaxy slime, so same glitter here. We have our silver glitter here. Really get that in there, as well as our red and blue food coloring. 3 drops of each, like so. Let's make that very, very beautiful purple that we saw with our first version. Mix that in. You can really see that purple really popping in this light blue bowl. Okay, so there is our mixture of, again, clear glue, water, glitter, and food coloring. Now, how this version differs from the very first version that we had over there is we're going to use baking soda and saline solution as we discussed earlier. I have a little lid to help me get the baking soda out of here because it would be kind of tricky to get it out of this box as is. I'm going to put a little bit in there like so. Now, the recipe I found calls for either, well, ranging from a 1/4 teaspoon to a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. I found that in my test versions that closer to 1/2 teaspoon is better. So I'm going to put in, this is a 1/4 teaspoon, so I'm going to put 2 of these in here directly into the mixture. Okay, there's 1 and there's 2. I'm going to put that in there. So that's about 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda in here. Really mix it well. Okay, you want to really, there's a few globs in here that you can see if you come a little closer. You want to get those globs out. Again, you want it to be as smooth of a consistency and well mixed as possible as you can get. Okay, I think that's about good. What do you guys think? Yeah? Okay, now it's time for our activator. Our saline solution, I'm going to grab my tablespoon now. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of saline solution in here. Now, one important note, once I add this version of slime takes a little bit more patience, and you'll see that in just a minute. So you might have to play with some of these ratios of the baking soda and the saline solution just a little bit, but don't be afraid to do that because, you know, it's going to play a role in how our slime turns out. So this is the exact recipe, but it might not completely bind. I've had this not completely bind perfectly, and that's okay. See, it's not really incorporated. Like I said, it's going to take a little bit more patience. I'm going to play with some of those ratios just a little bit. So let's add some more saline solution to it. This will help bind it a little bit more. We'll see if the goal is to bring it away from the sides. There you go, it's starting to pull away from the sides, just a little bit like our other version over there. But still, it's not coming together quite well. So I'm going to add a little bit more baking soda to this and see if that helps. Again, like I said, just play with some of these ratios. Let's do that. The baking soda helps to bind the slime, and that is what's going on now. As you can see, it's really coming together, and then the saline solution helps to activate it and really bring it in one ball, as you would expect slime to be. It's still a little sticky, so I'm going to add a little bit more saline solution to help with the baking soda. Mix that in. Again, this takes a little bit more patience than the previous version, but the same, well, not the same, but a very similar result happens. It's still very stretchy. This one just takes a little bit more patience, and you might need to, both of them, like I said, you have to knead them and really get in there. I'm actually going to get in there myself. Don't be afraid to do this, because the more you play with it, like I said before, the better it becomes. And I even, in my test versions of this particular slime, I even let it sit for about 3 to 5 minutes, and that really helped it bind even better. So you might need to do that too. Just like I said, this one takes a little bit more patience. It's really, really sticky still. So I'm going to add even some solution to my hands. That'll help get the slime off, and then you can really get in there. It helps it become less sticky, and it's already starting to be a little bit better there. I think we're almost there, to be honest. This one seems to be a lot more stretchy in a lot of ways than the other one. But again, this one, you might just need to let it sit for a few minutes. It's definitely less sticky. But again, let this sit. Keep on playing with those ratios of the baking soda and the saline solution until you get the consistency that you really prefer. I'm going to add a little bit more, I think, to this. I think we're almost there. And yeah, that's nice. Yeah, this is a lot less sticky. Look at this. That's nice. So that's a lot less sticky. But again, let this sit for a couple minutes and then really continue to knead it and get in there. Don't be afraid to do that. Again, the more you play with it, the better the slime becomes. Well, that's your 2 versions of slime using any of your home materials that you might have around the house. Hope you learned a lot and enjoyed this. But yeah, those are the two versions that we typically use. Have fun with these. Enjoy making slime as much as you want. I'll see you guys later.